Now, the last time I used the Live, I was using an emulator on my laptop and it wasn't working very well. It worked, but yeah, I don't know how the sound is sounding on this. I could use my microphone, but my charger port is dodgy, so I can't. So the microphone is not as good today. I apologise. I tried using OBS and trying to use an emulator, but I think I may need an Ethernet cable, so I don't think it's going to work, unfortunately, with wireless. And I could move my laptop, but then I won't have the setup. I'll have to make a brand new setup on the fly, which is no problem. It's just, effort, can't be bothered and all that. I kind of wanted this OBS thing to work out, but yes, the frames were dropping like hell and it was not fun. So I apologise for running a bit late. I thought I had everything sorted out. It seems I didn't. Well, technical difficulties happen regardless whether you're prepared or not. So I apologise that those who joined and left. Sorry about the whole mess. Yeah. So I hope. I guess I could look at Instagram on the computer instead and double check, because usually I do it the opposite way around. Hold on a second, my lighting's gone off. There we go. Right. Instagram. Excuse me. Right. Where is the actual page for Aut-Ish? It's there. I'll have to. There I am there. There we go. It seems to be working fine. Yay! Right, so I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit here, and I can't pull it any more down because the thing's on the laptop for some reason. Yes, today we're going to be talking about year in review 2020. Yay, 2020. I'm sure you're all happy to be over. Well, maybe not happy because a lot of overlap's going to be in 2021 with COVID and Brexit and all that, and a lot of things that will make us quite sad, and we would rather have things. Hello, Arnell! Welcome to the stream. Currently I've got it working now, just have to use my phone, unfortunately. I'd rather not use my phone, but hey, what can you do? Phone 3-year-old, battery's not what it's used to, charger port's screwed, but hey, it's all good, right? As long as it works, right? What was I saying? It was to do with overlap next year. Things aren't going to be great yet. All I can say is for 2021, make whatever goals you want, no matter how small, because there's a lot of things we cannot do, and it's really just tough, really. It's a lot of us are self-isolating, a lot of us can't see our families, a lot of us can't go to our native countries and things like that. Hello! Yes, I think that we should cut each other some slack for 2021, so we can recover for future years, because COVID's not going to go away anytime soon. This is going to be a bit of a downer if I'm going to keep talking about COVID, but we need to be honest, 2020, as much as we all take other years for granted, and some of us did have crap years before 2020, 2020 has been crap on a whole new level for everybody, and COVID and other things as well as COVID has just made it a complete dumpster fire. And I feel that it's been tough for all for various reasons. And for myself, I've been self-isolating, and I've noticed I've took small things for granted, like going on random journeys, go to cafes and get work done, and that. Can't do that anymore. And even if I could, I avoided it. Didn't want to do it with social distancing. I'd rather not do it at all. And also seeing my friends. I mean, I can't see most of my friends, and I've not seen them in a long, long while. Thankfully, I can keep contact online, which is a godsend, but I still can't physically see them. I miss hanging out, going on little adventures, and just chilling and that. So, hello! I'm gonna wave to both of you guys because I forgot to wave to Laurel. There we go. Hello! Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, I'm using my phone. I could have used the computer again, but OBS doesn't like me. Well, it's more like internet signal. I should really use an Ethernet or move my laptop. But hey, it was worth a try. I've not actually streamed properly on OBS before, so it was interesting to see the latest, and I know how it works now, so I had like little transitions and everything ready, like a welcome screen, and a be right back if anything random comes up or anything. So, but I don't. So, I have to be Instagram, I'm afraid. Instagram itself, I had to use a third party to stream via the laptop. The last time I used the emulator, so. But 2020 for Aut-Ish has been interesting. I mean, I had quite a few great opportunities. I was featured in sugar, I need to search your name. My brain's going, what's your name again? I know your page, I'm sorry. My brain's gone space cadet for a second. Hold on a second. Basically, I was featured as an illustration for Grown Up Potty by Nathan McConnell. I was he made a series full of like autistic advocates before, like Agony Autie, Neurodivergent Rebel and all that, and then he wanted to add more and put it into a book. And the last person they asked was me, and I felt so honoured. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. I get to be drawn, illustrated as an advocate, and that's so cool. So that's one of my highlights of this year. I was just so, just small moments like that make my day, and it helped this year. One of the things, you know. What else is considered positive in 2020? Well, basically the continuation of both the Autistic Delicatessen with all the guests that we getting, all the good opportunities. Me and Larnell have had great interactions and fun, and I made a new layout for season 2, so it's a lot more uniform to edit. And also for this year I got a new laptop, which helps so much because editing was a pain before. Unfortunately this year I had like a big case of burnout. I had to take a break for a few months, and that was fun. But for Aut-Ish in general, the more people have joined in, and I've increased my content with not just autism, but it has like LGBT content, which I can relate to, and also a lot of other autistics can relate to, or even just allies who can be like, oh, I didn't know that, at least I've seen it from Aut-Ish blog or something. So it will always be autism first and foremost, but like they're like LGBT, feminism, and maybe other things are like subgenres. Oh, other disabilities, I mean, are like subcategories from a blog, like EDS for instance, endless Down syndrome, hypermobility, anything like that that I can help other people with. It's not main priority, but it helps. Speaking of EDS, I'm still wearing this thing. I do take it off sometimes to get a breather, or if I'm doing certain things it's really restrictive. Video games is a bit awkward to play, but it's better with it on than off when I play video games, because it's otherwise more pain and it feels like it's pulling all the time. And I'm so annoyed at this thing because I can't get looked at right now. You know, lockdown and all that, so boo. It really sucks. So with this splint that I got online, it's really good. I had a old splint, the white one, and it wasn't really that good. And then I had a temporary one which I use for cleaning because it's got more movement. It's this weird looking thing. It's just weird. But I use this majority of the time, and it does help. It's just my wrist feels like it wants to pull and click and pop. I think it just needs a reset. I don't know. It won't go away. And there has been times I've kind of made it worse by accident. So yeah. This is a good thing about lives. It's basically just me talking to myself and rambling. So yeah, I'm gonna say this every time I'm on live. So, hello Harry. Hello, welcome to the ramble of Aut-Ish year in review. Very informal. Usually I'd edit all the M's and R's and stuff. Hello. But yes, I did have notes, but unfortunately they're on my phone, and I can't use my phone because I was going to use my computer and use my phone as the notes, and Did you always have a plan on coming out even when it wasn't a pandemic? Yes, I would have, Larnell, if my brain had the same mind frame as it was in the pandemic, because it wasn't due to the pandemic, it was just how my brain was naturally going. Hi, video has frozen, but I'm getting audio. Right, cheers, Harry. Hold on a second, it might be my connection. Has anyone else got frozen video? Because I didn't realise it was frozen. Obviously, I can't see. Well, I should have checked my Instagram, actually. Right, hold on, I'll check my Instagram right now and see how it looks. I apologise. Right, it's not showing frozen on me at the moment. I think it might either be your connection or it's Instagram's fault. I'm not sure. But if it is me, expect some drops due to this connection. Like the light show, thank you very much. It's my projector light. I actually have two, but this one doesn't rotate. Well, it can rotate, but I don't rotate it anymore because it's like, it makes a really loud chattery noise, so I got that one as a replacement, so I have two. It works, it just makes a noise. Just swing it. Oh, aye, Rocker Girl G. I will. Always do. You have bad Wi-Fi in the East. Oh, that's rubbish. I'm sorry to hear that. I know certain places in Scotland can have rubbish Wi-Fi, and for me it's my signal rather than the internet. I'm grateful to have good internet. It's just that I'm in another room, and the router's in another room, and these walls are pretty thick, so. Okay, so everyone else is fine, and I assume it's Harry's internet. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully the audio is okay, and we can treat it like an audio show. But I hope it improves. It sucks for people having crap net. Everyone should have good net. But yeah, I always lose track. But yes, I would have came out it regardless. And I'm glad I came out this year if it's non-binary. Even though it basically came out of nowhere. There was inklings in the past, but I didn't really think of much of it until it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm just like, I'm not a lady, I'm not a woman. Wait, you look like a woman. Well, no. Society thinks I look like a woman. Hey, half the pictures I look fairly manly. My face, I have this weird man looking face. I know this angle doesn't look well, but if you see me in other pictures, that's an interesting question. I don't mind politics to an extent. If I don't answer it, you'll know why. But I'll answer this one because this one, since I noticed quite a few you guys are logged are Scottish, minus Larnell. If Scotland was to gain independence, what would become of the Scottish branches of the Westminster parties? That's actually a good one. So I assume you mean like the ones that are in the seats from Westminster? Like SNP and all that? If that's the case, I don't know. You don't hear much of that. A lot of people, when it comes to like independence, a lot of people go, oh, I hope we can go to the EU. Or, Sturgeon's talking about independence. For me, when independence was first brought up back in, I can't even remember what year it was, 2014, 2015? I need to double check on the dates on that. I voted for independence. I believed that we deserved to take a risk back then, because, let's be honest, Westminster, the higher-ups of Westminster, not just like the MPs, I mean the higher-ups of that, are the problem. And they're causing issues and doing all the whole sneaky bills and all that. And that's what makes Scotland and England versus each other. And it's not Scotland versus England, it's Scotland versus Westminster. But now, I don't know what I'd vote for. I feel like a pandemic is the worst time to push independence. I think we should wait a couple of years to recover, and then we can push independence. I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying yes either. I don't know at this point. Cause it's more of a risk now. At least back then, we could stand on our own 2 feet. Now that we've left the EU, pandemic, it's gonna be grim. very grim, and it actually scares me thinking about it. And I'm trying to see more than what the papers or Twitter says, and that. And I have debates with my partner with it, and we try and see the things that other people don't think of. It's like with Brexit, no one thinks of like custom charges. Like you buy things from Europe, you're going to get more customs charges and that, not just from the US. It's like, yay! Scottish Labour, Scottish Conservatives. Aye, yeah, I figured that. Yeah. They might get me redundant from the House. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd done that. I don't. I'm not a set. I'm not a set party when it comes to voting for politics. I only vote for what policies I agree with, and most of the time it's like SNP. Although SNP in 2020 have been really, oh my god, they've been really questionable this year, and it makes me go, if I vote next time, I'll go Green. Or whoever's available, because sometimes Green's not available in certain areas and other times they are, or they want UKIP, and it's just a mess. But no, SNP's been problematic due to some English MPs have been doing this as well, like the whole travelling COVID, they've been overstepping the boundaries, and I noticed there's been a few turfy people or gender critical people in the SNP party trying to push towards their agenda, despite SNP and that supposed to be for trans rights, and that's scary because England's already had the GRA bill changed and that, and the whole puberty blockers thing. Don't worry, I'm not going to get too much into that, and I've said my comments on Instagram and such, on stories and stuff. Right. Probably they'd reform alongside matching viewpoint members of indie parties, for instance. The SNP are probably split how the right-wing candidates have been. Oh, aye. I think there will be a split, and I've noticed there's been more right-wing influence in SNP. I'm not saying they're left either. I saw them as a bit of a mixed bag, and I know people from all walks of life liking them, whether they lean towards the left or the right. They were like a mixed bag. But I'm worried that they're going to get a bit overstepping their boundaries and be like the Tories a wee bit. Scottish Tories, even though we have Scottish Tories, they might be Tories. Oh, ideology of party in your country do you align with? I've not got a set alignment, but I have voted SNP a few times due to some of their policies and some of the stuff they've done in the past. Like, for example, they've done like free bus passes and that, and I was approving for that. More people with elderly or disabilities deserve to travel more, because not everyone can have a car or not everyone drives. And I can't remember the other ones by heart, but there were a few others. There's TERFs and Labour. I agree. I can't remember. I see the word swerf a lot. Could you clarify what it actually means? Because I know TERFs and swerfs are like similar things. I've noticed there have been TERFs in Labour. A lot of people go, yeah, Labour in England and that. But I look closer to the lines or get reminders that Labour can be just as problematic as Tory in a different way. Hey, didn't they have Tony Blair? Oh, we're getting really political here. Oh, let's not talk about Tony Blair. But no, I've seen especially the Tories. There's like Liz Truss, the Equalities Minister, if I remember correctly. Her ideologies are trying to get into the things and not taking the whole trans rights seriously, which is annoying. I'm probably going to go Green. Aye. Sex worker exclusionary radical. What? I forgot they were against sex work. There was been a thing in Scotland recently about a forum where you discussed about sex workers and that. And I'll say this right now. Sex work is work. It may not be the type of work you see every day, but if we have legalities for sex work, we can treat those workers with respect, have boundaries, and if they have discrimination, they can have rules and things like that. I know it's not the ideal job for everyone. I know some people can be a bit prudish in that. I'm a reserved person. I wouldn't do a thing like that. But I respect those that do, because it's a tough job and you're in a vulnerable situation. But at the end of the day, some people need needs and need someone to have a job, and they fulfill that job and have money as payment, you know? I know it can be very seedy, and I know there's like controversies and things like OnlyFans and that, like the whole Bella Thorne thing, who took advantage of it, and now sex workers don't get as much money in OnlyFans. And I hate it when celebrities try making a monopoly out of a platform that other people use, like minorities and stuff, and then it just fucks over for that. Blair's a turf too. Teflon Tony? Teflon Tony? I am not surprised, to be honest. I'm really not. But no, the UK has always had a reserved attitude, or snobbish attitude, depending how you see it. Like, oh, leave them alone kind of thing, or we're stubborn, like, oh, our old ways are better, Britain first and all that. But the whole transphobia thing is like spread like wildfire, thanks to J.K. Rowling. And also, like, online influence like Facebook. Like, we never had much of an anti-vaxxer thing. I'm sure there was people that were against it, but America had a big deal about it, and now it's suddenly spread here, like, anti-vaxxer, this and that, and it's like, oh, it's like ABA trying to come to the UK with more sneaky words, and oh man. Well, my country, there's the president, well, he's still trying to challenge the election because the narcissist is the first of power. Trump. Obviously, I can't speak much for America. I just see things from either your point of view, Varnell, or other friends' points of views online. And I feel for you guys. I mean, some things you've had better, like you get more representation in like higher ups and that, which is cool. But, and also Biden won, which is better than Trump. I know Biden's not perfect, but it's kind of like voting for the lesser of two evils kind of thing. It was the same with Trump and Hillary. It's a tough one. Unlike the UK, when we get a new Prime Minister and we don't vote for it because one leaves, like Theresa May, for instance, and then we had the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson. It's funny because in comedy shows years ago, he always got taken the piss, and now he's like the Prime Minister, and it's just like, they still get taken the piss because everyone thinks he's a joke, but it's like, how did that happen? But no, the turf influence in the UK is getting beyond a joke at this point. Autism support is good in some places and not so good in some places. Like, there's support centres for Scotland, which is great, and I'm grateful for them because they've helped me so much this year when it comes to like paperwork. COVID, I couldn't do certain things with certain paperwork, personal stuff, and they helped me so much. I'm grateful, and I'm unfortunate. There needs to be more of like autistic centres, support centres, even like things with activities for young adults to adults, because a lot of it is still children orientated, and I'm 30 years old and I still need support, so and I get what I need, and I just hope I see more of that rather than, oh, we need to get ABA to make autistic kids or adults act normal and all that. But most TERFs tend to be either second wave feminists or those who are part of the skeptics movements in the 2000s. Is the second wave, like in the 70s, 80s, the ones that go extreme, like the whole hate men thing? And I've been listening to a transgender history book on Audible, and it was talking about like one feminist movement was for trans rights and then the other one wasn't, and some of those ideals move on to TERFs to this day, and some of the stuff they really did was really nasty. Like this trans woman, I can't remember her name, got her reputation tarnished because some feminist said that it was, I think, I can't remember, it was something to do with bathrooms or assault, like, oh, they assaulted me, they're a man, blah blah blah, and it's just sad and horrible. I mean, this is why a lot of people disregard feminism, and I understand, and there's times I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't call myself a feminist, but feminism's not just a women thing. To me, it's a step towards equal for everyone. I know the feminism, the name kind of contradicts itself, but it's like a take your turn approach. It's like this: we're focusing on women's rights, but we're also focusing on other rights, but we're not trying to exclude, unlike TERFs, which has exclusionary on the thing. And I don't categorize myself as any sort of feminist. I just believe in women's rights, trans rights, men's rights, because some feminism do focus on men's stuff, because a lot of old stereotypical ones don't go, well, men don't need attention and all that. So I focus on all sorts of rights. Oh, intersectional rights. I like looking into intersectional feminism. Feminism should be intersectional, not just middle class white women, which has been an issue for years. So I think I'm probably third or fourth as well. I'm not sure. Hold on, I need to read more comments. Oh no. Oh no. Scotland needs an AOC type though. Advocate of colour? Is that what that means? I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that acronym. Alexis Sales said it best. If Joseph were alive today, he wouldn't be on trial. He doesn't have. I got news for you. I don't watch Scottish comedy. Not Scottish comedy. I've not watched British shows like that in ages, and they're good when you just feel a bit meh. Third or fourth wave feminine. That's awesome. I think I'm probably in that regard. I know a lot of feminism now is like online and stuff, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you're making a mountain out of a molehill over like, oh, the cancel culture and oh, they've assaulted me and stuff like that." And there is bad eggs, but we need to be careful with these things. And a lot of people do get like abuse and that, but unfortunately, with the whole internalized misogyny, a lot of people are not going to believe them. And then when it comes to like toxic masculinity and when men actually get assaulted, a lot of people don't believe them. So there's inequality in all sides, but for different circumstances, and it's a huge ass fucking sorry. When I rant like this, I swear a lot, so I apologise. If I put this on my YouTube, I'll have to censor that out. Oh, Cortez! I noticed Cortez has done a lot of things like that, and I'm glad because we need more people like that. And I wrote recently online saying that they should have more representation, like those who believe in trans rights or transgender or feminism or neurodiversity, disability rights. They should be like more MP people like that, have more representation, because either people don't know we exist or we don't have enough, and those people could make a difference as long as they don't have a god complex or anything going, I'm superior because I'm helping all these people, notice me, because that could be a problem as well. Okay, Lornell, who were the favourite guests from Aut-Ish and Delicatessen from this year? One of my favourite guests is I've not posted the podcast yet. It's been delayed to 2021, and it's Nina Jude, sorry. So Nina, if you do watch this eventually, you'll be one of my favourite conversations, and yours will be released next year. Also, same with Artie Builder. That's an upcoming episode as well, and you're awesome too. But for ones I've posted recently, I'm gonna look at my podcast list because I can't think at the top of my head. Gotta have a laptop like next year, you know. Podbean, Aut-Ish. This year, actually I'll just use Spotify. Aut-Ish podcast. Right, gimme, there we go. This cancel culture crap reminds me of Matt Lucas making some hollow apology for racist humour in Little Britain and turn around and do Little Black Lives Matter. That's the problem with cancel culture. I mean, I get cancelling someone if they've done the problem, but it's just used so much and it's unnecessary. It's just stupid at this point. It's kind of like separating the art from the artist. That can depend. If you can separate the art from the artist and the artist doesn't sound bad, you can separate it. I know it's hard, like if it's J.K. Rowling, for instance, I get it. But the only time you can't separate the art from the artist, in my opinion, there is exceptions though, is when their art represents what they've done in real life. For example, they've assaulted someone and they're like, let's put it in a song. Like, this song's about when I pulled their hair. It's like, that's wrong. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely gross. And sometimes I find it hard to separate the art from the artist. For J.K. Rowling, I don't like Harry Potter anyway. Used to, got put off it, not because of J.K. Rowling. I only got put off J.K. Rowling as a person with the whole amendments for Harry Potter, like, oh, Dumbledore's gay, oh, that character's Jewish, Hermione is black. It's like, when was she? But in the book it says she's clear. Oh no, I didn't say she was white. What are you on about, J.K. Rowling? But the trans thing has just solidified my distaste of her as a person. She's a bigot. And the thing is, with her, she's really sneaky with her essay. I've read it, and I wrote a post of it in my blog. She's done her research with biology when it comes to transgender people, but the problem is the stuff in between the lines. Like, she's like, trans people are a disguise, and the whole, oh, if I waited longer, I could be trans because I don't feel safe with men, blah blah blah, and that's just very problematic. And if you want to read more into that, go to Rowling Isn't Helping in my Aut-Ish blog, and there's more of it there. I don't want to talk about J.K. Rowling, I'll be there all day. But Aut-Ish, my favourite guest from this year, oh, there's a few. Krista Holmans was good. That was 2019, that was last year. Fear Sauté was great to talk to, Amanda. I spoke to a one-stop shop in Ayrshire, which is great. Tommy Concrete was one of my favourites for my musician guest. Listen to his music, it's like progressive metal, has like maybe some death metal elements and some core punky elements. His latest album, Orc Mage, is pretty cool. Unrelaxed 2 is a good album because there's quite a few songs that are about autism and internalized ableism and nothing without us. Sorry, I butchered that phrase too many times. But yeah, Tommy Concrete that was one of my favourite episodes because I'm a musician myself. I compose music. I put it in my YouTube channel, Hanyo Onikage. So I put it separately, and I've played my music on this current season of Aut-Ish podcast for every intro except for musicians. I play their music. So you're wondering whose music that is in the background? It's mine. But other favourite guests, I liked Emily from Sensory, Melanie from Autistic Grandma. She was a wonderful guest to talk to. Someone who's in an older generation of the autistic spectrum and has autistic children. It's just, I love talking to different generations and having their points of view. It's amazing. Aye, no worries, Harry. You take care. And I also like talking to Ermis from the Ermis show. Check out his podcast. He talks about music and that, and he likes ambient music like I do. I met him through Tom Honey from Good Weather from Airstrike, which is an ambient music artist I adore and been supporting for years. I was meant to see their gig this year. Got cancelled, COVID. I didn't see God Was an Astronaut. Cancelled, COVID. No gigs. Was to get my hair cut on my birthday. Cancelled, COVID. Eventually done it myself. I'm glad I did though. But yeah, also Joel and Lorraine for Chewy Gem was the latest episode of my podcast, which I enjoyed so much. Chewy Gem have done so well for me, and for everyone else who supports them, and we need to show the chewing cultures. People who chew, whether you're autistic, neurodivergent, neurotypical, whatever neurotype you are, get them. We need to, what's the word? Not acknowledge. We need to accept the chewing culture. It's not we need to stop infantilizing it. But I got this because I lost my old one, which I got from Chewy Gem. So I bought myself a new one. It's the hand chewy. Right, okay, I need to read your comment. I haven't read it yet. The IT crowd had an episode involving a trans character getting beat up and deceiver trope is signed for, not Graham Linehan. If he watches this, you are not a nice person. You just cause hassle for the LGBT community, especially the trans community. And that's the thing with transgender people. Until recently, all the representation was mockery, or they're a man, or they're a woman. That's all transgender was. And then now we get true representation. Everyone's like, I don't want this transgender person in my show. What's this trans agenda? It's like, look, we need to give them this representation so we can normalise it and not make it a big deal anymore. We need to have this moment for trans people. It's their turn to have representation. Whether it's trans people of colour, trans neurodiverse people, trans white people, everybody. It's the transgender show, and non-binary, because non-binary people don't have enough acknowledgement in society yet. So, yeah. That's how I feel about it. It's been mockery for years. You see old episodes of Friends, and it's like mocking transgender. I'm trying to think of other examples of shows I've seen that mock trans. I mean, transgender's always been like the butt of the joke in old shows. Even if they weren't trying to be harmful, that was normal at the time. And that's sad, because all the transgender people I met, I didn't know they were trans, or even if I did, I didn't care. It's like, oh, I'm an AMAB. You're an AMAB? Like, no, you're a woman to me. No, you're a woman. You identify as a woman. You're a woman. You know what I mean? So it's like the whole gay agenda thing in the US. Yeah, we have the whole, it's the gay agenda. Oh no, I see in the newspapers and they have gay in the freaking headline like it's a bad thing. Or gay kiss, lesbian romp, gay this, transgender. You know what I mean? They treat it like it's buzzwords for something bad. Oh yes, the autistic community. Oh, Ace Ventura, yeah, another example, a bad example, yeah, definitely. I can't think of any more bad examples, but I know there's plenty circulating in my head. But the autistic community is underrepresented. That's why I do representation of autistic people in the media on Aut-Ish. And one day, a future project, don't know when I'll finish it, I've got like a script and research to make a big video talking about autistic people in the media. Whether it's books, well, maybe not books, I'd probably do more films and TV. Oh yeah, you're right, Silence of the Lambs is Horrors of the Trans Killer type, yes, yes. Hold on, Wardell, I'll check that soon. Delicatessen. I'll check that soon, I'll have the page up so don't forget. But the autistic media representation is slowly getting better. It's even shown in cartoons, which is so cool. It's like, autism, or I'm autistic. Or they don't make a big deal of it, or they go, oh, my brain works. I'm like, yes. I was going to say, there was something else that came in my head there and I forgot. Dang it. I watched The Good Doctor Season 1. I know it's a neurotypical acting as an autistic, but it's one of those examples that's done right. And I enjoyed it. I've not watched season 2. I know some people don't like it or they see certain things as problematic, but there was one episode where they actually had an autistic person, and you can, in a non-offensive way, you could tell they were autistics by their mannerisms. Not in a bad way. It's good to have an indicator, but a lot of people use that, oh, you could tell they're autistic stereotypes, so like, their hands and make that face, and oh, it's annoying. Hold on, my autistic delicatessen page ain't working for some reason. Why are you not showing my guests? Let's go the autistic delicatessen. Automatic. Oh, now it's working. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Favourite guest for an autistic delicatessen this year? Ooh. Well, Michelle Fasnacht. I feel like that's a good shout out because she gave me and excuse me. Oh, she had given me and Larnell an opportunity to talk to her school, which a lot of them have autistic and neurodivergent children there, and it was like an assembly. We were on a big screen. It's somewhere on YouTube, and it was amazing. Unfortunately, it wasn't Valentine's Day of all days, so I was like, oh no, what can you do? But it was great, and I felt there was just something nice talking to people and feel like you're doing something and helping them, and they got to ask questions. And I think some of them tried to get a little controversial, but obviously teachers had to be like, watch if the kids say silly questions. But it's just, oh man, seeing the next generation and you talking to them in a non-elitist way, it feels amazing. Every time someone makes a comment to me going, you've helped me, or if a parent's going, hi, can you help me, or thank you, I'm just like, I have low self-esteem basically. I'm just like, whoa, I'm helping someone? No way! The problem is that there were a few non-autistic writers and directors. Agreed, there needs to be more. I know Asan helped for Loop. They had an autistic, non-verbal character and had someone autistic voicing them, and they helped direct them to have right representation. But we do need actual autistic writers and directors, and even if we do have some that we don't know, it's good to say they're actually autistic, not in a, oh, we need labels kind of thing. It's so we acknowledge like, what if you want to study this kind of thing and look at the neurotype in that in a non-lab rat way, just more of the fascination of the psychology of someone thinks and their directions of directing a film in an autistic mindset, because we all think differently. I mean, I'd love to make a short film at some point in the future. I've made a documentary and video essays for university before, and I'm currently making a video project, We Are Non-Binary, talking about non-binary people. But I'd love to do a short. I've done short films at uni as well, briefly. I've not posted them online, but I'd love to do one day properly. Maybe not a huge thing, maybe probably like low budget, you know, camera and all that. But I'd love to do that one day, make a short film, and maybe have like a diverse cast and things like that. Other favourite guests in Delicatessen. I don't know. They're all good guests. But I think one that stands out is Chris Lamarck from Coffee, Hip Hop and Mental Health. I was having a bad day. I lost my keys, couldn't find my keys, found them in the end. And at first my brain was like, I can't be motivated for this podcast, but I'll do it anyway. But when Chris started talking about his mental health story, I was hooked. All my problems were washed away temporarily, and I'm glad, because it made me appreciate the conversation so much more. So much more. If you've not listened to the Autistic Delicatessen and you want to listen to about coffee and mental health, it's a bit of a heavy story, but trigger warning. But I'd listen to it. It's such a good episode. Not the video series, the actual podcast. It's such a. It's such a. Anything mental health I advocate for. I can only really advocate for things like anxiety and that. I can't do depression and that because I've not been diagnosed that, and I don't think I've had depression. I think I've had trauma at least. I've had trauma in my life, but I've not had like depression or suicidal thoughts or anything. And I know many people that I care for do, or those that I know, friends of friends and stuff. For the Autistic Delicatessen YouTube favourite guest, we are looking at... I think my favourite guest of this year would be... Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many this year for video. Because we only started video this year as well. We only started video this year, so I think I'll probably pick Ben Eberl, or Ebbers, from Sorted Food, because he is awesome. Abby Cook and Lesh Sterling from The Taste Careers, because they were so much fun to talk to. And Kawabe and Sunkar. Kawabe from Peace Bus and Sunkar from United Sikhs, because it was our first four-way conversation and we had so much fun, and it was like humanitarianism. We've done a lot of humanitarian conversations this year with food in Autistic Delicatessen, whether it's black-owned businesses, whether it's talking about food equality from around the world and talking to a guy with a PhD, or talking about like United Sikhs, the charity United Sikhs, or the Peace Bus, like helping for homeless people as well. Yes, the autisticdelicatessen.car.co. All links are provided there. Also, there was a movie made by an autistic person that subject autism. I'm not sure how well it will be received. There are enough indie film critics. And maybe I should be a critic. I can be very critical. If it's something I really don't like, I'm blunt as hell. But I try and tone it down sometimes. I try not to be too blunt. I like to be neutral. But obviously you can't be neutral and compromise everything. Like with racism, you can't compromise racism. You can't compromise transphobia. But if something goes too far that's against my beliefs, I will obviously go on that side and be like, no, you're going too far, and things like that. So yeah, I have my limits. But yeah, a lot of this stuff we're talking about is like 2020 related, and it's heavy loaded, heavy year, and a lot of people I know are either self-isolating or they can't see their families, and I'm sorry if you can't see your family or friends. I'm grateful to be where I am. I'm not seeing many family myself, so I understand in that point of view, but I'd rather be with my partner and us just chilling kind of thing. Just, because for Christmas for me, I prefer to keep it quiet rather than have like all the family. There's not a bad thing having all the family around. I get it. If you have a close relationship with your family, that's fantastic. Have a great day. Have fun. But I like having it quiet and chilling and having partner's Christmas dinner, good food, and we both receive each other's gifts and things, and maybe what if we have video games, we play our video games or whatever, and yeah, we're nerds, we like games. I say this because NT's a very arbitrary concept when it comes. I totally agree. They do have arbitrary concepts. They're very rigid. They're very rigid with their thinking. It has to be this, it has to be that, and they like to gatekeep what autistics want to do. It's kind of like, there has to be this or that. It can't be in between. It's like being bisexual. No one likes bisexual because it's one or the other and you have to choose. In the 90s, bisexuals had it bad. They still have it bad today, but now that's replaced with non-binary. You can't have to be one or the other, but you can't be none or a mixture. They don't. But society doesn't like a non-rigid label. They don't like anything that's not a binary. They want a straight answer. But life's not that easy. You can't just have a straight answer for everything. That's not how life works. It's just society needs an adjustment because it's not made for those who are neurodivergent, have different neurotypes. Hey, it's not good for those who have extreme mental health problems like depression or being suicidal, and it sucks. I'm glad there's support groups and that out there, but there definitely needs more improvement. Right, how did you feel as an autistic person during the rise of BLM? Black Lives Matter. I've spoke to quite a few people about this, and quite a few people are like, why? And I get why they go why, or they go protests don't mean anything, but they need to realise black people have. I know. I'm sorry if my opinion. I'm sorry if my facts might seem wrong. I'm a white person as an outsider. I like to observe, so I apologise if some of these things might sound wrong. Just like a disclaimer. But black people have gone through a hell of a lot of shit for so long, from slavery to all sorts. And I've read a lot of things that have just recently come out in history that have been hidden by white people, and they've been treated so bad. It's absolutely disgusting. How the fuck? Oh man. Sorry, I get really sweary with these things. But Black Lives Matter has came along because the police brutality's gone too far. They've had enough. They've dealt with this shit for years. So they're like, you know what? We are tired of this. We are gonna march. And all black people and allies are like doing Black Lives Matter. Unfortunately, there was like consumerism stuff, like, oh, let's sell Black Lives Matter. Look at us, we're all Black Lives Matter for 2 weeks, and then the All Lives Matter people came through, all the bigots. It's like, All Lives Matter, yes, but this is the blacks' turn, black people of colour's turn to go, look, sort this out. We need to sort it out. Because people forget, sometimes you have to take turns for people's problems so we can be equal in the end. Oh no, this problem's came along, let's focus on that problem. Once that problem's over or died down, we'll focus on the other problem. But people don't like that. It's like, oh, but they're focusing more on black people, why? Or they're focusing more on transgender. It's like, they're only unhappy because they're not getting the attention. That's the problem. Yeah, it did. Obama's presidency. I knew the whole Black Lives Matter has been a thing for a while. It's just risen up more so now, and I still believe Black Lives Matter. It's not a trend. It's an actual thing. It's a thing that is going to be ongoing for a long time, and I'm glad that some of the protests did help to review the police system in America. The thing I discussed this with my partner recently with police in America. They need an overhaul of how they operate because their biases and habits from previous generations still exist today. They see a black person holding something, think it's a gun, and shoot them dead. That's not right. That's wrong. It needs changed. The bigotry needs to stop. The internalized bigotry needs to stop. The racism needs to stop. Internalized racism needs to stop. And the UK is not perfect, but we're not as bad as America. I mean, we also have the internalized racism. doesn't help with the whole newspapers talking about Muslims and all that, and a lot of them just want to live here as British citizens, and they're accusing them of being illegal immigrants, and that's horrible. The Formula 1 fan, oh no, the F1 fan has been toxic, although it's I don't support Black Lives Matter. Oh god. Lewis Hamilton's had a lot of crap hitting at him for years. I'm not a big fan of him, but I'm slowly respecting him because he's grown up. There was a time he was a bit cocky and that, and I was just like, nah, I don't like him. But I think he's grown up a lot since then. But it's horrible when people get nasty over him because he's a person of colour, and it's like, what are you doing? He's an F1 driver like the rest of them, so expressing his opinion. Why are you going after his race? What the hell? Yeah, F1 is bad for that. I need to look more into F1 stuff. I only look at it now and then, and but I do enjoy what I see, or I like just to see. It's just one of those things you go back to, even if you just look at wee bits of it and you enjoy it. But no, the whole Breonna Taylor thing was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Another low point of 2020 in a nutshell is justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for all those people, black people that have had injustice, including, I forgot his name, but he was in the spectrum and he got sent to jail over something not big. I can't even remember his name. I'm sorry, but I'm terrible with names and lists, but I do my best. I can see his picture in my brain. It's a complete mess, whether it's race, gender, and all that. And speaking of 2020, since we're in a low point of 2020 again, the joys of what's it called? COVID-19, anti-maskers. They are the worst. And why is my laptop moving? What are you doing? What the? Hold on. Oh, my laptop was on a key. Whoops. COVID-19 was a problem. It's still a problem. But the problem is society. Anti-masker movements going into shops and Walmart. People not wearing masks and getting exemption passes from B&M because they don't want to wear a mask. I don't mind the whole sunflower lanyards and have the exemptions. But it's easily abused. And I think there should be more steps taken to get it. Because a lot of Karens out there will be like, I can't breathe, I can't wear a mask. Look, I'm autistic, I'm asthmatic, I'm exempt, but I wear a mask when I'm out. The only time I don't wear a mask is when I'm in the middle of nowhere and no one's there, but once I'm in a place full of people and also shops, mask on. I wear a mask 99% of the time, so why are you not wearing a mask? Yes, it can be hard to breathe, and sometimes I have to take it off if my chest is dying and I need to take my inhaler. Besides that, I keep it on, no matter what. And it really pisses me off. I don't want to be judgmental for those who don't wear a mask all the time, but sometimes you can just tell, and it's a mountain out of a molehill, but COVID is serious. Kids can get it, elderly can get it, immune compromised people can get it, I could get it. Masks are for protecting other people, not just yourself. Alonso fans dress up in... Oh my god! Oh my god, blackface! Oh, fuck. Oh man, that's stupid. It's funny, the first time I heard about, like, painting your face black is in... Like, I knew what blackface was, but in a drama, 0.6, I used to do drama as a teen. It was like, don't wear black paint, it's illegal. And I'm like, I wonder why is it illegal? And then I looked at the context in the future and went, it's blackface. Makes sense. Okay, I get it. But yeah, besides COVID, racial injustice, all injustice, separation from families, the whole lorries in Dover stuck, can't go to overseas. 2020 has had its little victories now and then. Even if it's not much, I'm grateful to be where I am. I'm grateful to be in a comfortable environment. I'm grateful. I'm aware I have more privilege than other people. I'm happy that more people are looking at my podcast, my silly reels on Instagram, my YouTube, Autistic Delicatessen, my music, maybe other things. I hope it gives you joy as much as I enjoy making them. And any comments that people would say, you've made my day, or I managed to stim because of you, thank you. I don't think that I don't really think that I help people because I have low self-esteem. And seeing that, I feel like it makes Aut-Ish so much more worthwhile. So much more worthwhile. I agree, Arnell. There is exemptions for people who can't breathe and stuff, but it's just easily abused with the exemption stuff, like signs in the shops you can get for like B&M. I think COVID has shown capitalism's shortcomings for all to see. Yes. Also, for those who have lost their jobs this year, I'm so sorry. For those who still have their jobs, I'm so happy for you, even if it is in a harder situation. It's been tough for everybody, whether it's mental health, housing situation, employment. Everything's just been a cluster of nonsense. But all the little victories and all the little things I try to make myself feel better and also make everyone else feel better via my Aut-Ish projects. It's all we can do. All we can do. I hope at the end of COVID we can just look back and laugh and go, ah! But I don't think we'll do it straight away. We'll probably do it like in 10 years' time and go, remember the pandemic? Oh, and I was stuck at home all the time. And then we all had no jobs. And yeah, but no, we wouldn't be like that anytime soon because it'll still be raw. But the things I have done this year, I had goals this year that some got cancelled because of COVID. I got more gigs and stuff. I'm actually trying to learn more German. I do it every Wednesday. Not like huge or anything. I do Duolingo or Buzu, so I'm like very fragmented. But I know words like ich heiße Oni. My name is Oni. I know other things. Sorry if I'm butchering German. I just find it fascinating language, and I blame some of the music artists I listen to and stuff. And they sound very poetic in that. And I've been trying to read more, because it's not nearby me. Okay, I got a Kindle for a tenner, and it's basically good as new. A Kindle Fire, and one of the older ones, so I get to read more books. And also I'm currently reading a book, Under My Skin by Jay Myman, LGBT author. So trying to read more, trying to do more things, more people being forced universal credit, more people most these people ones who were previously a little bit. I know, right? I hate that. The whole benefit system in the UK, I'll be brief for this. People judge for those who are on benefits, and it's disgusting. Not everyone is a scrounger. People, that's why they have like rules into place, but they do it with people who are not scrounging, and it's harder to get benefits for that reason. But universal credit's a shit show, and it's bad that everyone's trying to get it now, and it's awful. It's awful. The system is just ugh. But it's just, I hope everyone who has applied for benefits and that have received what they can. To be vigilant, and if there's something wrong, tell them, because I know the DWP themselves can be very lazy, and I know this from experience in the past and experiences from other people. So yeah, that's what you guys should do with Trump. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deal with Trumpism. Hopefully it's not the future of our country's politics. I hope not, because I hate MAGA. I hate the MAGA movement. Make America Great Again. It just sounds so dumb, and I hate the red hats. Funny enough, if you play Metal Gear Rising, this was before Trump was a president. Senator Armstrong actually says "Make America Great Again," but it's funny. It's like ironic kind of thing, and it's just like, why are you not the president? Well, don't be the president, but you're better than Trump. But yeah, I'm gonna head off soon. I rambled for like probably an hour, and I think I've mentioned most of the things of this year, and I've mentioned some of the stuff from myself. It all started with Thatcher, yes. Blair accelerated it, yes. With Jeremy Kyle making it oh god, he did. Get a job. maybe Jeremy Kyle should have got a job. And you see, oh, like Benefit Street and all that, and The Scheme and shows like that. I hate shows like that because it's just taking advantage of the working class. It's like, oh, the working class are scum and all that. It's like, no, they're not. A lot of them are just trying to make their ways, and their benefits could help them. And who cares what they spend their benefits on? It's none of your friggin' business. They're not going to buy Gucci handbags or anything, so wind your neck in. Mind your own business instead of being a Karen. I can't handle gossiping people. I mean, we all gossip from time to time, but I mean, like, the ones that spend their every waking moment gossiping and going, oh, who's so-and-so and all that. I can't live with that. It makes me not depressed, but deflated. Not there is blue MAGA, yeah. Aye. It's like gladiators. There's blue and there's red. It's just, yeah. I'm aware there'll be multiple kind of MAGAs, which is really dumb. I know it's a movement, and a lot of people will be like, if that's your movement, fine. Just don't force it onto me, and don't be turfy, racist, what other ist, or anything-ist. I don't know. But yeah, since I'm having a break from Aut-Ish, this is the last thing I'll be posting this year, other than reels and stuff. I hope you all have happy holidays, whether it was Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all that, even if it's just holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas, or Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Frohe Weihnachten. I'm trying to pronounce it in German, and next year I'll learn more. Happy holidays, happy seasons, keep safe, fight against COVID. COVID doesn't take a holiday, and I hope you guys have a better 2021. We can fight this, we will continue to, whether it's online, in person, even just buying things that are better for the environment, who knows. But yeah, thank you very much for joining this stream. Hopefully we'll do more like these in future, and hopefully I'll get a better setup on the computer sometime. So I don't use my phone. Right, take care you guys. Bye bye.